Today we're going to talk about the Loadstar, the International Loadstar 1600 in-frame rebuild and what's going on with that and where I'm at with it. Boom! Oh yeah, and as I walk toward it, I want to tell you this is a 1974 International Loadstar for all you new viewers that haven't been with me for the last, I don't know, year or so. I'll get this hood popped and whatnot, but it's really in immaculate shape. 38,000 original miles on everything. Got the 5+2 and all that good stuff. And you know, when I bought this truck, I didn't even try to talk the guy down or anything. I just gave him the cash and hauled it out of there, and then decided I was going to drive it a certain portion of the way. And I'll tell you what happened here as soon as I get this hood popped. Oh, in the International Loadstar 1600 rebuild. That's what's going on right now. And I know I said part 5 would be the startup, but I lied. I sure did. Here's the reason. It all come down to the thermostat. I was not satisfied with putting a 190-degree thermostat in. I did say that clearly in a different video. I'm not sure if it was part 3 or part 2 or which. I don't believe it was 4. But yeah, so this has a 160 in it. I'm okay with that. The block itself has about 38,000 miles on it. I can show you what went wrong with this engine. And by the way, this is a 345 gas engine. They used it a lot in buses and whatnot. Now these are the intake bolts. I put grade 8s in here. Come right out of the factory with copper intake bolts. Just mind-boggling. And on the way home, this thing overheated on the drive on Interstate 90. And these expanded and allowed, of course, allowed air in. And then this engine just overheated. It went bonkers. So these have been changed out to grade 8s. What's going on right now? Got the new hoses on, belts, shroud, fan, radiator, and the roosters are making weird noises like they always do, and that's cool. So pretty much what's left here is get the distributor on and the new carburetor that I ordered. But before that, oh yeah, the Fantastic Four right there. Before that, this tank's got to get pulled. This tank right here. And it doesn't have to get pulled because it's in bad shape. It has to get pulled because of the fact that it sat with about a quarter tank of fuel in it for, I don't know, long enough time period that I'm not going to run it through a new carburetor, that's for sure. So things are really, really close. I mean, really close to getting everything fired up and whatnot. Just got to go get a tune-up kit. I am going with the original points and stuff. I thought, maybe I'll go electronic ignition. And who knows, down the road, get out of here, stupid wasp. Down the road, I might go with, you know, electronic ignition, or I may not. Who knows? If it starts getting a little wonky on me, then I will. I know that. Here's the battery. The positive terminal is pulled off of there. I don't know if this is still good. I'll put it on trickle charge and test it. If not, I'll buy a new one. I mean, I'm going all out. I'm already into it so far. Why not go that much more into it? It just stands to reason. But everything's looking good. These valve covers are going to get pulled. I wanted them on there just to get this thing going, but these valve covers are definitely getting pulled and painted. Make it look a little bit, you know, almost like it was, you know, hey, this thing's been rebuilt, so, and whatnot. The starter down there, I don't know, the wiring looks a little wonky. I may pull that and have it rebuilt. I don't know. I know I can get a kit and do it myself pretty cheap. It just depends on what it all needs. I mean, if it needs a whole kit and caboodle, sometimes it's just easier to take it somewhere and have it done than to do it yourself. I'm not trying to make videos on how to rebuild starters necessarily, but if I do, I'll make a video. How's that? And there goes something, I don't know, ambulance and whatnot. But everything looks good. Everything is you know, checked down. And these this one hose here they couldn't find one for a Loadstar 1600, so They took one, sold it to me for an International 1300, which if anybody knows anything about international trucks, you know a 1300 is essentially a pickup truck. So some of these hoses and whatnot that they couldn't find for a Loadstar 1600, 345, we cross-referenced to a 1300. So not dissatisfied at all. Pretty happy with everything going, but I know there were a couple of guys that are probably scratching their head and where are you at on that? Well, that's where I'm at on that, and really close. Like I said, carburetor, distributor, clean the tank out, run it, and that'll be the next part. So this is part 5, and I will leave a link in the description below to the first 4 parts to this, putting it all back together and whatnot. The teardown I didn't really get too much into, but the build up I did, and this of course is all in frame, obviously. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you at the startup. Boom!